Aloha, my name is Ariel Leon. Welcome to Honolulu. I'm going to guide you through a practice today where we will use binds. Now, yoga binds are often used to bring more strength and balance into a posture. So rather than relying on flexibility to fall into your bind or strength to squeeze and hold on to that bind, we're going to find a balance of the two, using the flexibility to access the bind but the strength to pull away from it so we can find more space, more balance, and more strength, with the intention of looking at where in our lives we feel this constriction. We're limited during quarantine, not being able to travel or hug our friends or see our family. But instead of allowing these restrictions to make us feel compact where we can't breathe, can we learn to move into the constrictions and find some comfort, some safety? I like to think of when you plant a new plant. Eventually it grows and becomes root bound, and you have to replant it into a bigger pot, right? Just like how pressure creates diamonds, can we use the pressure that we're under right now to actually access more growth, more strength, and more support? So in our practice today, you're welcome to grab a bolster, 2 blocks, and a strap. A dish towel can also work. If you don't have either of those, don't worry about it. We'll just modify as we go. When you're ready, make your way to your mat. I'll meet you lying on your back. Go ahead and lay down on your bolster or on the floor. And if you have a bolster, you can have that start at the spine, but your bum is on the earth. Relax back, and then let the palms face up. Feet together, knees wide, if that feels all right on your thighs. You can also put your 2 blocks beneath your thigh bones. We will be utilizing our inner thigh muscles, our adductors. So for now, just let them stretch and let go. Close your eyes, open your mouth, exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more like that. Let go. Relax the muscles of your arms. Let gravity pull them towards the ground. Relax the muscles of your thighs. Just witness where you end and the world begins. Dissolve that line. That plant rooting down into the confines of the earth beneath you. Let it give you support, strength, balance. And there witness the belly as it rises and falls with breath. Witness the thumping of your heart in your chest. The mind can focus on the breath and body, releasing any distracting thoughts. In your practice with a moment of gratitude, what are you grateful for on this beautiful Friday afternoon? Hold it in your mind. Hold it in your heart. Perhaps you notice a little more warmth emanating from your chest. A flicker of a smile might appear on your lips. warmth in your heart can trickle down your limbs. Like an orb of energy in both palms, sending that love out into the world. All we are is energy. As we practice today, I invite you to dedicate your practice to someone. Maybe someone you adore, or someone who you know needs a little extra love and support. Open hands, that energy flows out to them. Take another steady breath. Begin to stretch the arms up overhead, reach your legs long down below. Good morning stretch, beginning all over again, letting the morning reside in the past. Now, if you happen to be lying on something, you're just going to roll over and move that thing aside, and then just stay on your back. We are going to be doing twists today, so we're going to start with some dynamic spine movement. First, draw the knees in, hold onto your shins. Rock around a little bit. Give yourself the love you need, the hug you need. Now as you exhale, lift your head up off the floor. Bring your nose between your knees. We call this Apanasana. You're curling in, the hips are flexed. Now on the in-breath, relax your head down on the ground and extend your arms up overhead like you're riding a roller coaster. Lift your heels up to the sky. Find a pike in the hips. Flex your ankles, spread through the toes. Now as you exhale, bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor and your arms by your sides, preparing for bridge pose. Use your in-breath to lift your hips up off the floor, bridge shape. Now we have flexion in the hips. Extension. Exhale, bring the hips back down. Ride that roller coaster, bring the hands overhead, heels to the sky, hike. Exhale, hug knees to chest, hands to shins, lift your head up off the floor. Inhale, re-extend the arms overhead, feet to the sky. Exhale, feet to the floor, arms by your sides. Take it slow, like a count of 4 or so. Lift your hips, breathe in. Exhale, slowly set the hips back down on the ground. Use your whole in-breath to lift your heels to the sky, arms overhead. Exhale, draw the knees in, hands to shins, nose to knees. Inhale, re-extend, find that pike. Exhale, feet to the floor, arms by your sides. Feel the tailbone lengthen up towards the knees as you lift your hips. Exhale, slowly, the hips kiss the earth. Inhale, arms up, feet up. Exhale, curl in, knees to chest, nose to knees. Stay with it. Inhale, arms overhead, feet to the ceiling. Exhale, feet to the mat, arms by your sides. Inhale, lift the tail off the floor, bridge pose. Exhale, release to the ground. Again, inhale, heels up, hands up. Exhale, knees to chest, nose to knees. Inhale, re-extend, heels to the sky, arms overhead. Exhale, feet to the floor, arms by your sides. Peel your hips up off the mat. Inhale. Very nice. One more time. Now this is a great series to do if you ever feel any tenderness in your back body, if you've been sitting all day. Inhale, heels up, hands up. Exhale, knees to chest, nose to knees. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, feet to the ceiling. Exhale, feet to the floor, arms by your sides. Inhale to lift the hips, bridge pose. Exhale, back down you go. Draw the knees in. This time hold on to the back of your thighs and rock yourself up into boat pose. See if you can pause there, bring the big toes to touch. And the hands can be behind the thighs or extend the arms forward. Now we'll practice Kapalabhati breath here, the breath of fire. So sharp exhales out of the nose. First, take a normal breath in. Take a normal breath out. Now breathe in to fill up just halfway and begin. Stay with it. Feel the navel drawing into the spine. Last we talked about this space, the Manipura chakra, our place of personal power. Wake it up. Ignite that fire. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Awesome. Make your way to tabletop. Invite you to take your hands to the floor. Crisscross your shins. Slide your shins underneath you, coming onto hands and knees. From here, we'll explore a few rounds of cat-cow. Take your time to lift your chin, sway your belly. Breathing out, relax your crown down, round your spine. With the eyes closed, take 4 more breaths and move any way you like. Maybe the head spirals one way as the ribs spiral the other. Perhaps you want to stretch your wrists. You can flip one or both hands over. Got 2 more cycles to do as you wish. Always doing what's best for you. Now we'll meet in a neutral spine with your shoulders drawn down your back and your low ribs hugged in. Bring your knees together so they touch. Now stretch your right heel straight back in line with your right hip and push through your toe mound, so like a floint, half flex, half point. Staying here, or the left arm comes forward, opposite arm is leg. Now on your in-breath, reach from edge to edge. On the out-breath, curl in, elbow to knee or nose to knee. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, curl it in. Last 3, inhale, reach. Exhale, contract. Inhale, 2. Ground that right index finger knuckle on the mat. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Awesome. Get long. Breathe in. Keep the right leg long. Just tuck the right toes under at the back of the mat and turn the left hand to the sky. Twist. Stay here. Roll around that left wrist. Turn on the right quad, the right glute. Breathe in. Exhale. Weave your left arm underneath your right arm. Thread the needle. Now you can walk your right hand forward like a claw. Or you can wrap the right forearm across the low back. Just notice the boundary of where you end and the world begins, and press down a little more into the back of your left palm. Let it give you more strength, more stability, and more length to stretch. Two more breaths. Retract the right hand back onto the mat. Keep your right leg the way it is. Simply unwrap the left hand up into the sky. And then start to reach your left hand back. Lift your right toes and grab the outer edge of your right ankle. Keep a little bend in your left elbow as you gently kick your foot into your hand. And then keeping your open heart, pull the heel in a little more. Find that equal and opposite force of the kick and the pull. Turn your gaze over the shoulder. One more breath. Awesome. Exhale to release into hands and knees. Round your spine, cat pose, reset. Breathing in, find a neutral spine, shoulders back, ribs in. Other side. Lengthen your left leg back behind you. Organize the bones, turn on the quad muscle, hug the low belly in, and then the right hand can extend. Now breathe in. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, lengthen, and strengthen your back body. Exhale, contract, strengthen your front body. 3 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. 2. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Now we'll find that length, and then keep the length in the left leg. Tuck the toes under at the back of the mat. Inhale the right arm up. Find those wrist wraps, wrist circles. Wrist rolls. Breathe in. Exhale, right arm underneath the left, threading the needle. The side of your head can be on the ground, a block, or a bolster. And choose left hand traveling forward or maybe a half bind. In your mind's eye, feel your left kneecap slide up your thigh, turn on the quad. You feel your left glute fire too. And push down with the back of the right hand, turn the eyes up. Awesome. And the left hand on the mat, unwrap the right hand to the sky, nice and high. Reach your right hand back. Lift your left foot off the floor and hold on to the outer left ankle. Little bend in the elbows, you kick. Do your best to lengthen through the tailbone. Turn on the low abdomen. Narrow your knees. Hug them to the midline. And then turn the eyes back. One more breath. And exhale, release. Tabletop, round the spine. And breathing in, find a neutral spine. Walk your hands forward for modified plank pose. So about 8 inches forward, shoulders over the wrists. Lengthen through your tailbone. Find that long diagonal line from your crown to your kneecaps. Grounding into the index finger knuckles. Spread all fingers wide. Breathe in. Exhale, bend the elbows about 90 degrees. Come halfway down. Now rise back up into your modified plank. Untuck your toes. Send your hips towards your heels. Forehead to floor. Child's pose. We'll just do that 2 more times. Inhale, rise back up to modified plank. Exhale, elbows 90 degrees. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, hips to heels, forehead to floor. One more. Inhale, shift up. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, rise. Back into the child's pose. Pause here. Close your eyes. Let something go. Maybe somewhere in your life where you feel stuck, stagnant, or stubborn. Instead of these binds constricting us in our life, can we learn to let them go and find more space within these parameters? Exhale. Now inhale, rise back up to that modified plank. Exhale, move through your modified chaturanga all the way down. And then lift your head and your heart for a baby cobra. We'll pause here for an extra round. Feel all 10 toenails on the floor, squeeze through your knees. Loop the shoulders back and try to pull the floor back. Open up your throat, breathe in. And exhale, push onto hands and knees. Tuck your toes and then lengthen your legs, downward facing dog. You get 5 good breaths. Do as you wish. Always focusing on where you end and the earth begins first. Spreading all 10 fingers. Rounding into the finger pads and the metacarpal knuckles. Feel like your elbow creases can spiral to touch your index finger. Awesome. Exhale. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, and then walk or do a little hop to the top. Take a halfway lift, and on the way, interlace your hands behind your back. Bend your knees. Let your ribcage rest on your thighs as you send the knuckles up and overhead. You can shake out your head here, or maybe pedal out the knees, straighten one at a time. Feel the toes spread wide. And see if you can lean your hips forward a little bit more. Let the interlaced knuckles rest near your sacrum, your waistband. Bend your knees for chair shape. Let the tailbone curl down towards the ground. Feel that lift in the low belly. And then release the hands forward. They can be by your shoulders or by the ears. Try to move more weight back into the heels. And then bend the knees just a little deeper. One more breath. Nice. Now rise up. Push the floor away with your feet. Reach overhead. Release the arms down by your sides. Take a few breaths in mountain. Let your palms face forward. Standing strong. Right on the edge of time. Your perception creates your reality. Bring it back to gratitude. Grateful for that heartbeat. Grateful to be alive today. Follow the breath as you lift your arms overhead. Look up. Exhale, fold forward. Feel free to bend your knees. Inhale to extend, halfway lift. Touch the ground, step your right foot back and lower your right knee down onto the ground. Now use one breath in to sweep your arms forward and up overhead, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, place your hands on the floor. Slide your left knee back near the right one. And then shoulders over wrists on the in-breath, modified plank. Exhale, modified chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, hips on the earth, lift the heart. Exhale, push onto your knees, tuck your toes, and lengthen through your legs. Use your next in-breath to stretch your right leg to the sky. Use your whole out-breath to step forward with the right foot, and then we'll bring that left knee down to the ground. Use one long breath in to sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, touch the floor, step forward with your left foot and fold. Now bend your knees for chair pose, reach your hands forward just for the breath in. Mountain pose, exhale, stand tall, arms by your side, shoot up through the crowd. Awesome, other side, inhale, sit back down into the chair. Exhale, fold forward, lengthen your legs. Inhale, heads up, halfway. Exhale, left foot back, left knee to the mat. Inhale, sweep the palms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands and knees. Shoulders over wrists, breathe in to get there. Modified plank to modified chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, make your way to dog pose. Breathing in, stretch the left toes to the sky. Exhale, drawing the knee towards the nose as you step the foot between the thumbs. Lower the right knee. One last low lunge. Exhale, touch down. Step forward with your right foot and fold. Chair shape. Inhale, bend the knees, arms by the ears. Up and out. Exhale. Similar pattern. Sit back into Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward, lengthen your legs. Heads up, halfway, breathe in. Step your right foot back. Keep your right knee off of your mat this time as we rise into high lunge, crescent lunge. Breathe in. Now as you exhale, touch the ground. Keep breathing out as you step the left foot back and as you lower into chaturanga, keeping the kneecaps off the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hover your thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Very nice. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, graceful, step between the thumbs. Strong inner thighs helps you rise, high lunge. Exhale, touch the ground, step forward with your left foot and fold. Sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale. Up and out, exhale. Last side, inhale, sit back. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, left foot back. Strong legs, rise, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to earth. Keep breathing out as you lengthen to plank and lower to chaturanga. Keep your quads on through upward dog. Float the kneecaps. Keep the quads on through downward dog, navel to spine. Inhale, stretch the left leg high. Exhale, big step through. Last high lunge. Inhale, touch the sky. Exhale, touch the earth. Step forward with the right foot and fold. Sit back into your chair. Inhale, arms by the ears. Stand tall, pause. In mountain pose, close your eyes and witness the flow state of mind. This connection of body, breath, and mind. Enjoy it. Even when we can't connect with our friends and family, we can find that essence of connection within. It's always with you. And when we're operating from this place, we're also connected to the collective consciousness. You belong. You are never alone. Take another breath. And then bring the big toes together. Find that chair pose, letting the hands come in front of your chest. We'll bring the palms to prayer in front of you. Now take a breath in, and then twist to your right as you exhale. The left elbow is going to hook outside the right thigh. Now take your time. Notice the connections and how they can give you more stability. The left elbow pushing into the right knee just as much as the right knee pushes into the elbow. Try to turn your heart up toward your thumbs. Let the shoulders loop back. Notice that exhale in the belly button. Same thing you did in Kapalabhati breath. Now just look down. Look at your kneecaps. Watch them stay together as you slowly pull your left heel towards your seat. You're using your left hamstring, retracting the landing gear. Now go slow as you step the left foot back into a lunge. Take your time like you're moving through water. You're more than welcome to lower the back knee to the mat to reestablish your balance. When you find it, see if you can turn the eyes up to the sky. With the mind's eye, the part of you that knows flow state, asks the right big toe to stay on the floor. Feels the left knee squeeze. Turn on that left glute. One more. Awesome. Then look down towards the floor. Inhale, open to warrior two. Spin your left heel to the ground. Fan your arms wide. Palms can face up. Now we're utilizing the outer thigh muscles. Imagine that right knee tracking over towards that second toe. Get heavy in the right heel. Try to pull the floor back. Hug the low ribs in and feel the shoulders nestle together on the back body. Gazing forward like you're holding the whole world in your palm. That intention, that well wish, the love, the gratitude, send it up to the sky as you find a reverse warrior. Inhale. Option here to wrap the left arm across the low back, half bind. Maybe you can reach the right thigh and push the right thigh down and forward as you reach up and back. Take 2 more breaths. Maintain the half bind if that's where you're at as you rise up through warrior two. And then resting the right forearm on the right thigh. Guide that right knee open. And for now, just bring the right ear close to the right shoulder. Breathe into the left side of your neck. You can sway the chin up and down. Do your best to not compress that right hip crease. Instead, ground through the right heel a little more and scoop the right sitting bone under. Now, if you want to do the full bind, you can grab a strap with your left hand, dangle it down your back. Right hand can reach down towards the inner right ankle, and then weave that right forearm underneath your right thigh. Now maybe you rely on your flexibility to find your bind, holding onto that left hand, but then lift your rib cage away from the right thigh. Use your strength. Gently pull on that left arm, open up the left chest. Feel the left glute firing. And now imagine your right elbow was a hook, drawing your right shin more forward into the right. Use the bind to give you more strength, more balance. Now we are going to move into half moon. I give you the option to keep the bind. You're going to maintain a bend in the right knee the whole time. Just look down at the ground, start to shift more weight into the right foot, and then using that bind, use the right big toe as well, pushing the right big toe through the floor at the equal amount of force that your right tricep pushes into the right shin. And then the left toes lift, maybe for 3, 2. We're stepping forward with that left foot from here, bird of paradise. Why not? Shift all the weight onto the left foot. Draw the right toes in through the midline. Standing on that left leg, find your balance. Same shape, different orientation. Everywhere you go, there you are. Stretch through your right toes. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Awesome. Come into a forward fold. Just let everything go ragdoll style. Shake it out. You can pedal out the knees. Flutter the lips. Notice where you might have felt stuck or limited in your head. And how many times that perception creates our reality. Let it go. Now you can bend your knees. We'll round the spine and roll up to standing. Let the shoulders shrug back and take your hands to your low back for a standing back bend. The palms can face up or down. Just open up the hip creases. Lift through the heart. Inhale, rise up to vertical. Relax the arms down. Close your eyes. Just take a few breaths. Enjoy this moment of stillness. Standing on your own 2 legs. Let it be enough. Breathe. Breathe. Heel toe the feet together, big toes touch. Sit into chair, arms travel forward. Breathe in. Exhale, twist and hook right elbow outside the left thigh. Take your time pushing left hand into the right elbow into the left knee, and then hug the right hip crease back. You could be looking down or up. But if you are looking down, you can look at your kneecaps. Hugging the right hip back so the two knees feel like they're pinned together. Turn on the low abdominals on your next exhale, just like we did in Kapalabhati breath. And then slowly pull that right heel in towards your seat. Pause. Adjust for that shift in your balance. And then slowly stretch your right leg back into a lunge. Remember, you can lower the back knee for more support, but stay in your twist here. Refine your pose. Notice if you're collapsing into your flexibility. Instead, lift the ribs away from the thigh. Turn the heart up towards the thumbs. Very nice. Looking down, breathe out. Inhale, open wide. Warrior two, here we come. You turn the palms up. Drape the shoulders back. Just take up space. You belong, just like everyone else. But it all starts with you. From connecting with the self, we can serve up our intention. Remember that person you're dedicating your practice to. Breathe out. And then lift the left palm to the sky. Reverse the warrior. Right arm across the low back if you like. Drive the left thigh down and forward. Turn your heart up to the sky. One more. Good. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, left forearm to thigh, left ear to shoulder. Just for a few sways. Let the bind help you find a release in the neck. Good. And then take it slow. Gradually, you get a little deeper in the legs. The left hand can slide down towards the blocker floor, inside of your foot. For the full bind, untuck the right fingertips. Maybe you grab your strap here, and then the left arm can weave underneath the left thigh. Gently pull on your right arm. Open up that right shoulder, and then lift the rib cage up, away from the thigh bone. But use that left elbow to draw the left knee open. How's that right glute? Turn it on. How's the breath? Turn it up. Now you're ready. You have the wisdom. Find your half moon, with or without the bind. If you're using the bind, keep grounding that left big toe at the same rate you push your left elbow into your thigh. Go slow. Maybe your right foot lifts a little, maybe it lifts a lot, maybe it doesn't lift at all. Adjust the fluctuations in your balance in your mind. One more breath. Then we'll step forward with the right foot, bird of paradise. Shift the weight into the right leg. Draw the left toes in and up through the midline. Shoulders back, and then maybe the left leg lengthens. Honor the breath. Give yourself permission to start over. One more breath in. Awesome. Fold forward. Release everything down into your ragdoll. And one more thing, go. Just like last time, keep the feet hips width, soften the knees as you round and rise. Hitting to that standing back bend, hands to the low back, open up the hip crease. Feel 10 toes pushing down, 2 kneecaps lifting up. Rise to stand. Arms by the sides, close the eyes, breathe. Smooth out the breath. 2 more. Breathe out. Heel to the feet together. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, wrap your left arm underneath your right arm, eagle style. Lift your elbows, loop your shoulders back, and use that constriction in the arms to give you more stretch. Then bend your knees like chair pose. You can stay here or standing on the right foot, left thigh over right. Use the constrictions of your legs to give you more balance. Hug the left hip back, and maybe your elbows get closer to your kneecaps. Focus the attention on the grounded right big toe. Gripping onto that thumb pad with your left hand. See if you can push farther forward through that thumb pad. Okay, now fly like an eagle as you unwind the arms and then the left thigh. Hike it up for one-legged standing pose. Eka Tadasana. Just another breath here. And then hands to hips, left foot steps behind you, one leg's distance, heading into pyramid pose. Feel your hip bones pointing straight ahead, feet or hips width apart. Lift through the kneecaps, lift through the chest, breathe in. Exhale, lead with your heart, fold forward. The hands can land on the blocks or the mat, or if you feel like doing any other variation, do that. We got 5 breaths. You know how to find equal distribution of weight between your feet. A little trick I like to use is looking up towards the belly. Your pants have an inseam that is perpendicular to the waistband. You can notice if it's crooked, and that'll tell you if you put your pants on crooked or if your hips are crooked. Now imagine the sitting bones can squeeze the tailbone like you had a block between the thighs. Feel that steadiness from inside. A little more length through the spine, fold a little deeper. It's a perineum squeeze, yeah? So keep that activation in the pelvic floor as you lengthen your spine halfway up. Then we'll place that left hand down. You could put it on a block underneath your chin or on top of your right foot. And for now, have that right hand on the sacrum. The more you push down with that left hand, the more your heart turns to the right. Notice the rounding forward of the shoulders, draw them back. And then once you feel that right hand is, the sacrum is level on the back, then the right arm can lift. Turn on the quads, hug the low belly in. Notice the more you push down, the more you can reach up. Now keep the twist in your spine, just look down with your eyes. Bend the right knee, walk the left hand forward, and lift the left foot off the floor, revolved half moon. Keep a little bend in that standing leg. Find that floint of the left foot and absorb the length of the left thigh bone into the hip socket as you pull your right hip back. The more you push down, the more you reach up. So use any blocks, any tools you need to find stability. Feel that tone in the low belly. Now we're going to find a similar shape, but flip it 90 degrees. Step forward with your left foot, shift all the weight onto your left foot, and then with your left hand, pick up the outer edge of the right foot. We'll rise up to standing on that left leg and just pause. That right arm still reaching behind you. Catch your balance, keep the bend in the right knee. And when you're feeling steady, when you feel that left big toe push down, the kneecap lift up, then you can extend the right leg forward. Turn the heart. Feel that right hip crease drop towards the floor. Maybe the eyes travel towards the back end. One more. Good, now we're going to keep that right leg floating in space. Extend the arms up overhead. 3, 2, wrap right leg over left leg, eagle pose. Wrap right arm under left arm, eagle arms. Go slow. Give yourself permission to begin again, to start over anytime. But remember, you have the strength inside. Squeeze the inner thighs, the biceps. Curl the tail, low belly in, and maybe the elbows find the knees. Just when you notice my knees are not under my elbows, so you're going to ground the left big toe and swivel the knees to the right an inch or 2. Breathe. 2. 1 more. Find the freedom. Fly like an eagle. Release the binds, arms overhead, right thigh to the sky. Just take a breath in. Exhale, step back with the right foot, hands to hips. Oh, how nice. Having 2 points of contact with the floor. Spread those toes wide. Use the root. Breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Pyramid pose. Take a little more weight into that left foot. Hug the left hip back. Folded. 5 breaths. 4. 3. Yeah, you can have your hands on your shin if the floor is far away. That works too. Nice, Raj. Last one. And when you've established the strength in the legs, just lengthen the spine. We'll keep that right hand down. You can have it on the left shin, the block, the foot. I like to put it on my left foot because I feel like it keeps my foot on the floor, so I'll use it kind of like a web to keep my foot down. And then keeping the hand on the low back, turn the heart. Notice if your sacrum is asymmetrical, find that balance first. Imagine you have a block between your thighs. Feel that Kapalabhati in the belly, and then turn the eyes. And then watch your left hand appear, smile at it. Feel the kneecaps lift. There's a tone in the quads, but a little bend in the knees. One more breath. Okay, keep the twist. Walk the right hand forward and lift the right leg. So we went from having 3 points of contact with the earth to 2. Use the boundary, use the connection to give you balance, to give you strength. Spin the right toes in, hug the right thigh bone in. Awesome. Then we'll go from 2 to 1. Slowly step forward with the right foot. Shift all the weight into the right leg. Hold on to the outer edge of the left foot. And then begin to rise up with the chest. Same shape, only 1 point of contact with the earth. Use what you got. Ground that right big toe. Spread all those toes wide. You can keep a little bend in the knee to give you some buoyancy, or if you're feeling steady, turn on the quad. Push the floor down. Push the left hip crease down. And if your left leg is long, let the ball mound press forward. Keep the stack of your heart over your hips. And maybe the eyes turn back. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Keep the leg hovering in space, and we'll bring the arms up overhead. 3, 2. Awesome. We're going to step that left foot back towards lunge. Go ahead and get there. And then take your hands to the floor. Lower your back knee to the floor. And then just pause here. We'll place the hands up on that right thigh. Should feel pretty good to open up that left hip crease. Breathe. You're doing great. Now we're going to move towards one last evolution of this bind to find strength and stability. Similar pattern to what we just did, but we are going to add the twist and the bind. So place your right hand outside your right thigh for now. Extend your left arm up by your ear and ask yourself, how much length can I make from my left knee to my left hand? Now the right hand's going to guide the right knee towards the midline just so you can get a deep hook of that left armpit outside the right thigh. Now if you want to use a strap, your strap is in your right hand and you're going to dangle it across your low back. Otherwise, weave your left forearm underneath your right thigh and then see if you can grab onto the right wrist or hand. Now first squeeze in, find that strength of hugging to the midline, and then like you're resisting that inner squeeze, lift the ribs away from the thigh. Turn the heart open to the right. Now tuck the left toes and lift the left knee. Feel the left quad, the left glute firing. Keep that same lift like you wanted to get out of the bind. Lift the ribs. Now that lift in the ribs is going to help you lift the left toes in a bound, revolved half moon. Shift the weight into the right foot. Keep the bend in the right knee. Maybe just the left toenails are on the floor behind you, or you lift the left foot for 3, 2, 1. Step forward with the left foot. Shift the weight into the left leg. And begin to lift the right knee. Lift the right leg. Keep the bind. Kind of like bird of paradise, but twisted. Maybe the right leg extends. Everything's the same. You've got the awareness. Now like eagle, see if you can wrap that right thigh over the left thigh. Focus on the left big toe, grounding down. Laugh if you lose your balance. Life gives us fluctuations all the time. Gotta let it go. 2 more breaths. What a silly pose. Now come back, extending the right leg forward. Unwrap the arms overhead. And then step the right foot behind you, touch the ground. Lower the right knee down. And just take a few breaths. Let the head hang. You can have the hands on the floor for now, if that feels nice. Notice if you're holding your breath. Create your own reality. If you find that flow in the breath, that softness, that flexibility, it will come with you as we lift that right arm up overhead. How much length can I make on the right side of my waist? Now the left hand guides the left knee towards the midline momentarily. That's just so you can get a nice deep hook, but when your left knee moves back to where it belongs, over the ankle, your shoulders will pivot with it. Now the hands can be in prayer here, pushing left hand into right, turning the heart up to the sky. Maybe you grab your strap with your left hand and drape it across your low back. I use my left hand to help me guide my right forearm underneath my left thigh, and then that left arm across the back. Catch the hands or the wrist, and then first just squeeze everything in, kind of like we did eagle pose, biceps contract. Kind of then lift out of that squeeze, lift the ribs, and then lift the right knee. Good, let the bind help you find the strength, pushing your left knee open into your elbow and pushing the elbow into the knee. Turn on that right quad and glute. Maybe the eyes turn up to the sky on this last breath. Stay with me, look down towards the ground, and then maybe just shift onto the top of the right foot so the toenails are on the floor. Readjust, feel that left big toe ground down, elbow to knee, equal and opposite force, and then test lifting that right leg off the floor for 3, 2, 1. Stepping forward with the right foot, shift all the weight into the right leg, and then slow to rise. Lifting that left thigh. Now you could also have your hand on the outside of the thigh or the foot, like we did before, or stretch long through the toes. Keep a bend in your standing leg until you feel super stable, and let that be the last thing to go. Ground the right big toe, lift the kneecap. Turn the eyes back. All right, last shape, the eagle variation. Cross left thigh over right. Your hands get stuck somewhere there. That's okay, just see what happens. Squeeze the inner thighs. 3, 2. Beautiful. And then come back, lift the left leg out in front of you, unwrap the bind, arms overhead. Awesome. Go ahead and step the left foot back to and hands to the mat. We'll step back to plank pose, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Child's pose, knees wide, hips to heels, forehead to floor. Wave the forehead on the mat. Say nice things to yourself. And remember that it's bigger than you. Bring it back to your dedication. As humans, we all seek connection. You found the connection with your breath, your body. You found that conscious awareness, connection to the collective consciousness. One more breath. Rise on towards hands and knees. Just slide that right knee towards the right wrist. Spin the toes open, heading into pigeon pose. You can bring the hips back. Maybe even send the right heel farther out away from the hip. Take a breath, and then just soften in. I'm going to guide this pigeon pose. If you want to try a different variation, think about folding on the diagonal to the left, bringing your heart over your foot. And then the arms can go along the diagonal in that direction. 45-degree angle, gets a little deeper into the hips. We did a lot for the hips already. And if you don't feel comfortable in this, go back to how you normally like to do the pose. You can switch sides. I'll leave it up to you if you want to lean onto the right hip and then swing the left shin around. We can come back the way we came through a tabletop and through a three-legged dog. As you end up with the other leg in front, try to find your alignment, and then you can turn the heart over the soul, 45 degrees to the right. Maintain that flow state, the body, breath, and mind synchronized. Notice any places that feel stuck or confined. Breathing breath there. And your curious mind there. What else can you let go of in the last 3 breaths? Maybe it's in your hips. Maybe it's in your head. A little lighter now, rising up. You can lean onto that left hip. Swing your legs around in front of you. Stretch your heels long in front with a little bend in your knees. Feel your sitting bones waddle back. And then extend the arms up overhead. Maybe the backs of the knees touch the mat, maybe not. Breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. We did a lot of twists, a lot of asymmetrical movements. So enjoy this symmetrical shape. Keeping a little bend in your knees, a little tone in the quads. And then find that length from the bottom of the spine, working your way up to the crown. Every breath going a little deeper into yourself. Slowly allow your spine to roll up onto itself. Slide your hands back beyond your hips, behind you, lean your weight into them. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and then go slow as you lift your bum, coming into an upside down plank pose. Can you point your toes and touch the floor with the soles of your feet, all 10 toe tips. And then the hands try to move the floor in the opposite direction. Broaden the collarbones, let the head relax back on the traps. Feel the hips lift, the lengthen the tail. One more. Exhale, bring the hips to the floor. Go ahead and take the hands behind the thighs. Breathe in. And then go slow as you roll down onto the spine. Hug the knees in. Close your eyes. And do any organic movement that your body is telling you to do. Maybe you rock around. Maybe you want to plow. Maybe you just want to rest with a bolster beneath your thighs. You spend all this time connecting with this conscious mind. Let it be your guide. It's the part of us that is good at listening. So when you're ready to release into your Shavasana, imagine listening first to the breath, letting it go, letting it flow. Listen to the body, any of those parts that are still active. Switching off the muscle energy one at a time. Again, blurring that line from where you end and the world begins. Be the listener of your thoughts. Notice how they love to complicate things. From this version of you who knows flow state, who is good at listening, who is patient and kind. The conscious mind can witness the thoughts as simply thoughts. Like a child having a tantrum, just let it pass. Version of you that is good at listening is the same in everyone. And we can operate from this version of us, and we can be better listeners to our friends, family, stranger on the street. We learn to see past their personality, their gender, their race, religion, and relate on this visceral level of humanity. I invite you to stay in this connection, this sanctuary. And even when you feel ready to move, just wait one extra breath, just to be sure that you can bring this version of you with you. Let it start with the breath. Witness the ribs expand and contract. And the fingers come alive one at a time. Followed by the toes. Let your chin sway side to side. Listening, the observer, the arms extended overhead, curiously exploring what it's like to be a conscious mind in a meat suit, bones wrapped in muscles, wrapped in skin. Rest your vessel on one side, pausing for this very important moment, this pause. Sacred use this time to say something nice, cradle your humanity. Recognize that it can be challenging being a human, but you are doing the work, you are doing the best that you can. After that satisfying sigh, mosey on up to your seat, go slow. Now that you've cared for yourself, said something kind for yourself, bring the palms to prayer. Think of that person you dedicated your practice to. Visualize their face. Say something kind to them. A well wish or a prayer. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. The light in me honors the divine light within you. Thank you very much. Namaste.